You dumb, beautiful fucker.
Who wants to be in America's slash fic with Abraham Lincoln?
Louisiana Purchase, that's a name.
You need to really get off my balls, okay? I'm gonna kick your ass.
Also, why was Michelangelo so stinky? Ew.
Hello everyone, welcome to Non-Canon Files number 34. I'll be your host today, Patrick, and joining me today are my three crackling co-hosts.
Hey, it's me.
Tsushima Tanner.
Ore Colt.
Wait.
Well, that's kind of bad that you literally took your bit from the same show I took my bit from.
Yeah, well, it made more sense when Colt says Ore Colt, because saying Ore wa Colt is like, I'm Colt.
I mean, sure, but mine had alliteration.
Wait.
Mine was I Colt. I'm like iRobot.
I mean, sure.
Is it raining?
Yes.
Wow.
That's drippy. Damn.
My name is Winsy Boy.
Oh, I get it from...
Okay.
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 It's pretty good.
I guess.
I mean, it's something that you have called yourself before.
And I am Life Lessons with Onisan Pat.
Okay. All right.
Because, like, really, if anyone's the big brother on the show, it's me.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
you're a
definitely
cop.
true. You're definitely... What did you say?
He's a cop.
Oh, I thought you said, yeah, you're hot. I was like,
No.
oh, okay.
It's about time someone recognized it.
Wow.
Police
Already getting...
officer over here. Trying to roll us over here. Am I right, guys?
I can't believe...
Down with the man.
Before we get into it, I think you can probably guess what we're talking about. I'm shocked that this is only the 34th non-canon file. I feel like there's been so many more than 34.
I'm surprised, too, but we're sitting pretty at 34.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that means we have to do a non-canon every week till we get to 50, and then we shut off again.
Okay.
We have...
But I'm going to put that onus on Colton Winslow.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Y'all have to record 16 episodes this weekend.
I can't do that. I'm dying.
Playing Fortnite.
I'm not going to be here.
You disappear when it's convenient.
We got business with Bucky this weekend, okay?
Yeah,
I can't
okay.
do that.
Oh, yeah. Y'all are...
Yeah, gay-ass
Wait,
Bucky.
does the Bucky's episode come out before this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even though we're recording this before we go to Buc-ee's.
Before Bucky's. Okay. I totally forgot y'all were going to Bucky's.
And for in case you didn't know, Winslow wasn't being homophobic. We last week declared that Buc-ee's is a gay icon.
Winslow told me that bit because I hadn't listened to or actually, was it even on the podcast y'all talked about that?
Yeah, we mentioned that on the
Okay.
favorite albums episode, which is also full of farts.
Winslow mentioned that to me, and then Winslow said what he said. I was like, huh. Winslow gets back into Yu-Gi-Oh! And he turns into a bad boy, I guess. I don't know.
Bucky's is gay. I know. I love that for them.
I just can't remember what we talked about Bucky, and I don't want to like accidentally slip up. Did we do the glory hole? Did the glory hole bit get in there?
The glory hole stuff was
I
in
think
there.
that was after the podcast.
No way. That was in the podcast.
If y'all think y'all get the dirty stuff on the podcast, if only you could be in the basement after or before
It's
the
fucking
podcast.
hell.
It is so bad. And I've only been in the basement for a few episodes of the podcast, but even like before, like when we were still recording now at my old house kitchen, very bad.
It's not locker room talk. It's not like that bad, but it's like running
It's
train
just
on
like,
Bucky.
however dumb.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
I just wanted to get to like. I just wanted them to know that we're not that bad. We're pretty bad, but
Well,
we're not
I mean,
that
but
bad.
I mean, I don't know. We kind of set it up like we're really bad. There's nothing bad about saying running a train on Bucky.
There's nothing bad.
And Cody's not even here anymore.
And Cody started that bit about Bucky sucking dick.
If Cody was here, you don't even want to know what he'd say.
Yeah, Cody, we had to personally excise Cody from the podcast. That, and he got a really good job in Florida.
He would not stop talking about Bucky. It was weird.
We should probably get to what we're talking about.
Yeah,
'cause this
yeah.
What are we talking about, Pat?
Yes, this is, in case you couldn't tell, this is the seasonal anime review, where once a quarter we talk about some of the biggest and even some of the under-the-radar series debuting in the seasonal anime, and we're talking about the summer anime lineup, and we have a stunning 6 series to talk about today.
Did you have to count those before you said 6?
I knew it was 6, but I wanted to double check.
I think this is the first anime show I've been on since winter 2020.
It's been a while.
Is this the first one y'all have recorded in person since winter 2020?
No.
No, we did spring.
Oh, this spring? Y'all
Yeah.
did spring? That must have been one of y'all's first shows back in person. Okay. I couldn't remember the timeline, so...
Maybe.
Yeah, the timeline has just been screwy ever since we
Yeah.
got back. But let's go ahead and
It may sound like Wenzel's drinking, but he only has a Dr. Pepper.
I mean, the Dr. Pepper boys are on this side of the table.
Yeah, clash them above the electronics.
Hey, we're not John.
How much liquid has been spilt on this stuff that,
I would say at least 3 glasses worth.
man...
All John.
I know. You didn't have to say anything. I could have guessed because Cody's not here anymore, and he's the only other person that I would say would have spilled something. I feel like Cody spilled something before, but Patrick, I'm sorry for derailing.
Yes, so let's go ahead and get started. We're talking about our first series today, and that's Sonny Boy. It released July the 15th. It's currently streaming on Hulu and Funimation, and Sonny Boy is about 36 high school students that are trapped inside their school when it's mysteriously transported to an unknown dimension on the eve of summer vacation. Tensions rise amongst the students, especially after some start to develop supernatural powers.
I'm just going to say, this actually happened to me my junior year of high school.
Yeah, dude, I remember. You were missing for
Yeah,
like a
I
whole
went-
6
A
hours.
long time. So I this is the show freshest in my mind because it's the show I watched last because it's the show I heard the most hype about. The animation in the show is gorgeous.
Because it's by Madhouse, correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
yes. It is. It reminds me a lot, and I don't know who all maybe watched all of the series, but Japan Sinks
Yeah,
2020.
It's got that Japan Sinks, Devil May Cry Baby.
Yeah, that Masaki
Yuasa.
Yuasa.
Masaki Yuasa.
Yeah, Masaki Yuasa. It kind of has that style, but it also kind of reminds me of a less detailed, because it's in the format of animation. It kind of reminds me of Fujimoto as well.
Yeah.
In kind of a way.
Now, I will say I did get a chance to watch this, but the concept reminds me of Drifting Classroom.
Well, see, that was the funny thing about it was there was a the kids start a group chat on the phones and it's called the drifting classroom.
Oh, okay.
Group chat.
That's probably just the bit they did.
No, it's probably a bit, yeah. Which I don't know. I need to read Drifting Classroom.
Yeah,
because I've heard
read.
great things about it, and if it's sorry, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, I wonder if they're the same. They're probably not. I'm just making stuff.
It'd be really weird.
I'm
if they
making
were.
weird connections in my head right
I mean,
now.
the premise is very. I've read like the first volume of Drifting Classroom. It's very good because it follows elementary school kids
Oh yeah,
as they're trapped in a hellish dimension.
yeah.
Wouldn't it
and
be crazy
it-
if these were the same kids just in high school?
It's like, damn, we got back, and then like 10 years later, they're back at it again. But they're like also kind of the X-Men.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's written by Junji Ito, so that's more horror. While this definitely has like you kind of get some eerie vibes to it. It's definitely different.
There's definitely some. And again, I guess we should preface: we only watched the first episode of all these shows.
I watched 2.
You watched both episodes of Sonny
Yeah,
Boy?
I was too interested.
So,
Yeah.
so expect like first episode spoilers throughout the
Yeah.
episode
Yeah,
for
we
all
won't
these
go
series.
past the first episode, except for Ori Tsushima.
For episodes past episode 1, click on our Patreon link that we haven't made yet. But,
So at the show, I don't know what it was about the show, and it could because Devil May Cry Baby and even Japan Sinks didn't give me this sort of vibe. This is going back to the animation, but it gave me the vibe of like almost like an anime film. Like there was some
Yeah, it's
very gorgeous like
It felt cinematic.
yeah, it felt very cinematic, especially with the scene at the end where they jump off the ledge and the rail breaks and they drop down into the darkness. Something about that, I don't know. I was like, am I watching a movie? Because it was crazy. But it's very good. I mean, all the hype is well deserved. I would argue to say it's probably the best show this season, based off of first episode.
Yeah. The only other show I can think of that gives me this kind of cinematic quality is we watched it forever ago. Boogie Pop.
Yeah,
Boogie Pop.
It reminded me a lot of Boogie Pop.
Yeah, it
The
does
way
have a lot of
it
Boogie
was
Pop.
paced, but visually, it just felt like a cousin to something by the studio behind Masaki Yuasa's work.
I could definitely feel that. Again, though, beautiful animation, very very expressive. I'm trying to think because I was getting so many different kind of vibes because like we said, it was getting Yuasa, but then also was getting kind of like Trigger as well. It was just it was great, and it was just it's so also weird. Like, and I mean weird in a good way because there was just so many different jump cuts, and those jump cuts worked in the favor, I believe, and also with like the powers, because the powers were like not like kind of your normal, I guess they were more unique, I guess you would say, because
it wasn't like somebody had fire breath or something.
Like I think one of the girls had obviously electricity powers, but like one of the characters. Okay.
Speaking of electricity powers,
one of the characters is like one of the kind of the delinquent characters. He has some power. I kind of don't get what it is yet. He's essentially fracturing kind of reality, it seems like.
Yeah.
And
you get to see a little bit more of what he does in the next episode.
Okay.
It makes a little bit more sense.
Okay, because now what he would do is that like the screen, it was cool. The screen would kind of like turn into like a CG effect where like it would start cracking, like fracturing, I should say, not cracking, but fracturing. But when he would do that, it would also cause glass to break.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely, I want to see the second episode because I'm really interested. This is like Tanner said, probably one of the best from the season. There was also, I think, who I'm also super interested in because I kind of don't get their power, but we'll probably have it explained later. Is like they're not the class president, but they kind of like
the captain, the guy with the baseball bat.
No, the guy with the star.
With the star.
Oh, yeah, that freaky little fucker.
Yeah, like, I was interested in that because it seems like, I don't want to say he can give powers, but it seemed like he lent his power to the baseball bat guy, because the baseball bat guy didn't have any powers, but what he could do is when you'd point at somebody when they would do something bad, he'd be penalty, and they'd get an X, and it would send them into, like,
It was literally described as like a hell, because they kept mentioning like that guy. There was the guy that had the fracture powers had to do long division, and they mentioned that it was long division pi hell. And then the girl, they had to mention she was in running lap hell.
Yeah.
So it's got to have something
it sends them to like some kind of like hallucination, dimensional area.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say dimensional because they're still physically there. So I guess it's like kind of like a mind, like I said, hallucination.
Yeah.
And
if I had to guess, I think the person with the star under their eye, I feel like they're sus. I think they're sus. They're imposter.
I think
they are, whoever they are, the reason why they're in this void.
Well, see, that was what was interesting because later, sorry, I'm thinking back about it now, because the baseball guy because every time somebody broke a rule, that's when they would get a penalty. But the problem was when the baseball bat guy tried to do that to the fracture guy, he wasn't breaking a rule, so he couldn't do it. He
couldn't penalty him.
But he ended up penaltying him in a different way. He
fucking hit him with a baseball bat.
His head in.
Which I thought, this fucker's dead. He has to be dead. He's bleeding
out
terribly.
He's
Yeah.
bleeding.
I was convinced he was dead for about 10
yeah,
seconds.
but wasn't. But then the star kid, he's like, but he pointed to the baseball bat guy and was like, penalty, and he ends up fucking getting butt ass naked, having to do
Hindu squat jumps. I mean, it was pretty much a Hindu squat, but while in the position of a Hindu squat was bouncing, like, and jumping around, butt naked.
Butt ass naked. But the thing is, though, is that when it comes to like expressions and physique, they did a really good job of like.
It's like they asked somebody in the office, "I want you to get naked, and I want you to bounce."
It kind of feels like rotoscope in a way with how some of the characters move and stuff.
Some intern got stuck with the issue. It's like, okay, you got to get naked and hop up and down.
Yeah, and it was funny too because that same character at some point he was like, "Oh, my stomach's killing me," so he literally goes onto the toilet to shit, and you see his ass.
Bare ass.
Yeah, that's the first introduction to him too.
Yeah,
it's him running into the bathroom stall. Before you even see his face, you see just his butt sitting on the toilet.
That's the first time I've seen an anime man shit, or any anime character shit.
Yeah.
You never
That's
seen
weird.
Evangelion?
Oh.
I don't think he.
Why did they call it the end of Evangelion?
And then that was also something that we get to learn is that the guy with the fracture, he's like, so the class president is the only one that can give out penalties. And then the guy was just like, I didn't want to let you guys know this, but I'll give you a little hint or taste or whatever. And what he does is that when the fracture guy tries to fracture stuff, it looks like he does something where he taps into the fractured guy's mind and shows him that, and it's saying we can never leave this place, and shows a bunch of the students as dead bodies. And I'm like, okay, I think it's them. They have something to do with altering people's minds.
It's The Shining.
Colt just watched The Shining this week.
But
it's a Shining thing that happens in The Shining.
But it also feels like they might have something to do with why they're there, because it seems, because every time anybody mentions about getting out, it's like, getting out? Like, we're not going to get out of here. And then they do get out, but they land in a different fucking place wherever it is.
Yeah, and like a same version of their school, but like in the ocean.
It literally falls into the ocean, and it's a completely different ocean island, because it's just a bunch of geography.
Y'all watch the end credits?
End credits.
I think, was it this one with the end credits?
No, it's
No.
Aquatope.
Okay.
Yeah. And then there's a split second, a cut where you see the characters, the Star Kid's face, and he looks pissed.
Yeah, he was pissed. There's like, I'm cracking the code.
And the only reason why they were even able to get out of there was because one of our main characters, the girl, she decides to fucking jump off. And honestly, I thought, like, she's gonna fucking jump off and then splat right into fucking concrete. But no, that's not what happened, and I'm really happy that didn't happen. And fucking one of the other kids' powers too was that he literally took the fucking school and rearranged it.
Yeah.
Which I thought was batshit crazy. And
there's some cool powers, like one, like the old class president's power.
The class president,
she can like
swap.
look at an object and look at a person and swap those two objects. 'Cause
Yeah.
there's a point in time where like fracture person, thunder person, and school rearranged person, we have like no names.
Yeah, we don't have any names.
I don't even think any of them have names besides like maybe our two main characters. But anyways,
I think some of them probably have names,
Probably,
but
I
kind of
forgot.
missed. Yeah.
and then they trap the captain, Star Kid, and the old class president, and then she just starts looking at bottles and trash and swapping the bodies out. And she's like, "Oh, you're not the only ones with powers." So we actually don't know everybody with powers.
Yeah.
We've only seen like probably 10 max.
Yeah.
I don't even think you see that many in the first episode.
I mean, there's one power that you see, like Amazon Prime.
It's just literally this
Amazon
girl,
Prime.
and she gets a ton of just packages which say like Amazon, which is like cat, like and because the thing is like, because I assume we get a little thing for the little header, or not header, the little description for the next episode. So I assume this character is probably important because they haven't run out of food. So they have food. Like it's so, like I said, it's so weird because like it's different. And what was interesting too was that the name of the first episode was Aliens. Nothing was ever mentioned about
I don't know
aliens.
why
Aliens.
that's a thing.
I think maybe that's probably a hint in it itself. I think it was just, honestly, one of the other kids too, he was kind of, I guess he's the nerd. He was kind of trying to figure out like what the fuck is going on. I'm like very interested.
And
Like
he's like the whoop whoop whoop.
that was Colt making cubes.
Yeah.
Because that's what he does.
Yeah, he makes he can just do math.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's like his power
or that
if
was just
that's
like him thinking.
just him thinking, and that's the
Yeah.
show being like, oh, we're going to visualize math.
Yeah.
So I have no idea.
No, actually, he's the Tsuchikage from Naruto. He can just like do particle style jutsu.
That
okay.
makes a lot of sense. But great show. I would say watch it. It's another. So it's like there's no manga for it. It's an original anime series.
Oh, okay.
So like the pacing of it, you see a lot of like new technique. I don't want to say new techniques, but new techniques in it that make it feel a lot different. And plus the plot being, because I was going in for, I don't know why, I assumed it was an isekai.
No.
There's isekai I like, so I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting that they put an isekai on this list. And then I watched it, and I was like, oh, I mean, I guess you can kind of argue that it sort of is, maybe.
I mean, that only depends on like when we find out how they got there.
Yeah, exactly.
But
It depends how they got there or where they're at now.
I don't think it's an isekai because the kids are transported to this place as they are.
Yeah. So, but they have superpowers now.
They
Some
do
of
have
them.
powers.
I swear to fucking God, if it's an isekai, I will drop it.
Well, what if it's good? Isekais can be good. I mean,
As soon as it's an isekai, it's going to reveal, like, now you must have this little child as your slave partner.
well,
I don't want that. That's every isekai.
That's a reference to Shield Hero.
That's just Shield Hero reference. But yeah, I'd say watch the show. The pacing is crazy through the first episode.
Like I said, there's like the pacing and the jump cuts. Like I don't know. It's the only way I can describe it is it's really weird. Like, and like, but like in a really good way. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's weird in the way that Masaki Uesa's work is.
Yeah. I give it a high recommendation.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely gonna keep up with it. It's something I like. Even the outro music, that was the one thing that drew me.
The outro music was so good.
Outro music's really good. There's a lot of good outro themes. I don't know if we'll mention it for every specific show. A lot of good outro themes this season, though. Like, I think maybe every show on this list has a good outro theme.
Yeah, stick around for the credits for all these.
Yeah.
Also, I loved how Winslow freaked out. It's like, oh, I dropped my Dr. Pepper when there's literally fucking thunder outside.
I mean, yeah, I don't give a fuck about thunder.
I mean, this is the spooky themed anime review.
Yeah, at the end of July.
I mean,
Yeah.
and and the thing is too is like I said, like it's weird, it's eerie, and it's like there's something else too, and also it seems like to be delving into some psychological stuff as well. Yeah.
It would be, if you don't want to watch it now for whatever reason, it seems like it's going to make some prime time spooky season watching. And plus, I don't know how long it will go. It's an original series, so I can imagine it getting more than 12 or maybe 13 episodes. So it will be done by October, so you can just binge it all in October. But I highly recommend trying out the first episode for size.
Yeah.
Then come back to it. So, no, I only got to watch half of these for this episode. I will say I plan to go back and watch all of these, and Sonny Boy sound like it would be the most fun. I was at hype just to see like Madhouse's animation.
Yeah.
If for nothing else, it was going to be pretty.
Yeah.
Madhouse, they rarely come out to play, but when they do it very well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Moving on to our second anime, we'll be talking about Kageki Shoujo, aka Opera Girl. It released July 4th. It's currently streaming on Funimation, and this series is about an unusually tall young girl attending the musical theater high school who is determined to get on the exclusive all-girl acting troupe. What did y'all think of this show?
Okay, so I'm shocked this anime made it, because usually if there's anybody trying to get like some idol anime on the list, it's me, and I didn't even have to add it. It was already there. I really enjoyed it.
I really liked it.
I really liked it.
It was good.
It was good.
The art is gorgeous. The voice acting in the show is unparalleled. It's very good. The animation, it's very colorful. It's actually really funny.
It's really funny, yeah.
I added it because it actually looked good visually, and unlike other idol shows that look like dog shit.
Sorry.
Sorry, but they don't look great, guys.
But this looks actually like, usually with idol shows, you kind of, I don't want to say they're like, they kind of feel like they take themselves too seriously. This, like, it takes itself seriously, but it seems like it's really playful and has a lot of fun.
yeah, I like what's the tall one?
Watson, I know her.
Watanabe.
Yeah, it's Watanabe
her,
something.
her last name.
Well, I really enjoyed how like she's like, I'm tall, can't fucking help it. Whenever little I'm sorry, that was mean. J-pop star is like putting up the tents in the room, saying, "You stay on your side, you can't stay on my side." And whenever she's stretching on the floor, she's like, "I just vacuumed and I'm gonna fucking stretch."
That's not what she says, but pretty much.
So like the premise of the show is Watanabe, who is the tall girl, is rooming with a former ex-idol who got kicked out of her idol group because she told a fan that he was really creepy and that he shouldn't touch her or anything. So she got kicked out of her idol group. And Watanabe, tall girl, is like the only person on campus that doesn't know that former idol is a former idol, where everybody else at this like elite opera high school does.
Yeah, and
So-
everybody's kind of like a gossip girl bitch.
Yeah, everybody's like, why is
Why is she trying out?
like why is she here? And then it's like, oh my god, nobody's sitting by here. And then Watanabe comes in like loud as crap. It's like, hey, it's like I met you outside. It's
Hey,
like we're sitting together, and like did like a whole bit where she like scrooched the chair over to the idol and like sat down, and like the principal of again this very elite high school was like, actually,
Can you two stop talking?
You
Even though
two-
the idol girl did not talk
did
at
not
all.
talk at all. The show is actually really funny. It's got a lot of heart. I don't know if I'll like watch it week to week, but I could definitely see me watching it after it's like wrapped up.
I really, I like you said, it has a lot of heart, especially from that intro as well. The opening,
Yeah, opening's very good.
because the opening, like, it really shows the two girls going hand in hand. So we
Yeah.
could assume this is a blossoming friendship.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm for it.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm very excited for it. I mean, just going by the first episode, it's very much like, all right, this is the school, and like we don't know a lot of background. Like we didn't get like the idol had been kicked out of her group till like 3/4 through the episode, and it's just like kind of casually mentions like, oh, she was mean to a creepy fan.
Yeah, which is like
Which is like Amen's sister would have done the same thing.
Yeah, because they made her graduate early, and
Yeah.
it was funny because all the characters were saying that she was canceled, and it's like that's not how you use canceled, but okay.
Yeah, everybody's like, oh, she was actually canceled. And
I
I'm
mean,
like,
it makes sense.
No, I mean it makes
Yeah.
it makes sense, especially for how the culture.
well, that and like if
surrounding-
you also the age group that you're dealing with in the show, I assume most girls in the show are probably like high school age, so just say 14 to 17.
Yeah.
So it's like
It makes sense,
it makes sense.
especially culture surrounding J-pop idols and stuff.
Yeah, especially
so.
like I'm interested to see how it will go into like the idol culture because like one is like very stringent, like you have to keep up this like persona, just like I am just super approachable, like sweet girl, but also like they have to be like very forward with like all the people, and like their fans are like really freakishly dedicated. Like, there are so many stories about like idols being stalked and like or like paying like these really high levels of like contrition when they like act out as like, oh, I got a boyfriend, I had to sort of like humiliate myself on television before doing something as benign as like having a relationship.
Yeah. And this show too, so there's like she runs into a guy like in like the train station who specifically says like, oh, I was one of your stans. Says
Yeah.
Stan. I'm like, oh, okay. So it really seems like we're about to hit like with idol groups being as popular as they are now, especially in the West. It definitely feels like we're about to have a lot more shows that really dive into that sort of like culture. Odd Taxi last season kind of dived into like how seedy like idol stuff can be a little bit. It was one of
It's
the
very seedy shit.
yeah, it was one of the subplots in the show. So it seemed if Kageki Shujo goes in that direction, it could be pretty high up there because it's something we haven't seen a lot of yet. And again, with the animation, the voice acting, and just like the likability of the characters already,
Yeah.
I could definitely see it being like something a lot of people want to go and check out.
Yeah, and I mean also the idol star as well really wanted to get into this school was because it's just
It's an all-female school.
it's an all-female school, so like she'll be away from the stench of men, and I'm like, yeah, hell yeah. Like now her uncle is actually one of the teachers there, but like, you know, obviously he's not a piece of shit, so yeah, it seems like it's gonna be really fun. I really like the bit too where the fucking the general or whoever,
Yeah.
the military guy comes in there and he's like, may I push on your shoulder, the tall girl,
Yeah.
Watanabe. So he does. He's like, I knew it, you know, you're strong or whatever. And then she's like, wait a second, I wasn't ready. So she does a fucking stance,
She gets in a stance.
and he starts pushing her. He's like, you want to join the army?
He's really like, you want to join the army? It's so good.
It's such a fun bit. I really like Watanabe. She's really fun.
Yeah.
And there was a what was it? And the reason why, and the stance that she did too was actually apparently a stance that something from Kabuki, because her father was like into Kabuki theater. So like I'm really interested to learn like that as well. How's that going to play into this, because it's like it's different, because it's not like, you know, we get the idol stuff, but like this place that they're going to, this school is for like the name of the show, the English name is Opera Girl.
Yeah.
And so like, but this school like does like this says acting, ballet.
It's like music and theater.
Yeah.
It's pretty much a performing arts school.
So like I'm really interested to see how they dive into this, because, you know, it's very prestigious obviously in the story itself, because like only a select number of girls made it in.
Yeah, I think they said in the show 1,000 applied. They picked the top 200, and from the top 240 got in.
Yeah. So, and then it's going to be like very tedious, tenuous, you know, because the reason why they brought an army guy, the army general guy in there, is because in the military they do those marches and it's all about synchronization and all that stuff. So yeah, I definitely see myself probably when this is all out binging it.
Yeah, I would really like to binge it, especially like it's been different than a lot of stuff that's come out this season so far, or this year so far. So like it just makes me interested in like going and watching it, because this year for anime so far has just been like insanely stacked, and this show kind of seems like different enough to set itself apart, but still like uphold that quality of the best shows of this year.
It's like low stakes, but like high stakes in the fact that like this has to do with like dreams and goals and life kind of stuff. So yeah.
Yep.
I probably won't continue it. I'm not really into the idol stuff, but it was good. It was good. I think if you were into that stuff, this is definitely the best of the genre.
I mean, but the thing is like it's not just about idol stuff. It's like
I know I don't even think it's idol. I think it's gonna be.
I think there's just an idol in it.
We've said that. Have you not listened to us?
I know,
Do you
but
not care about what we say? Do you not care about what we say?
You were implying that it was more so about idol.
No, I said that
you said it's got opera in it. It's called Opera Girl. You said that. Yes, you did. But you didn't talk about how.
I just said it's called Opera Girl because they're going to a school for performing arts.
Yes, you did.
That goes beyond idols.
Yes, you did. I'm just saying that it's going to be more so opera than idol. Performing arts, it encompasses a lot of things, yes.
But he also dance. He said dance and theater.
Whatever.
Okay, if you country hens are finished clucking, we need to move on to the next.
And
episode.
also, Watanabe is like, I want to be Lady Oscar, which is like, only the top students at the school can do that for acting in theater.
I think this anime is either going to be a remake of the Netflix movie Tall Girl or
Macbeth.
Suspiria.
Well, it's already better than Tall Girl, so I'll give it that.
All right, sounds good. I definitely want to check this out. I remember looking up briefly for the series, and I thought the manga, the art looked really cute, really detailed, and it had a presentation about it I really enjoyed. So I'm definitely looking forward to at least seeing what this one was about. All right, we'll move on to the next one. All right, we're back, everybody. We took some storm shelter, and now we're back on the anime train.
Okay, we did not go into a storm shelter.
The basement just started flooding, and it went up to our necks, and we all prayed, and the prayer worked.
I dove down and got the drain.
No, prayer worked. Wenzel said Jesus is the one,
Nope.
and that's why we're all
You
alive
said that.
today.
You said that we all need to go to your church this Sunday to meet your young, cool pastor.
He's pretty cool.
He wears jeans. That doesn't make him cool.
But they are very tight.
What, y'all don't know about church bulges? That's all the rage right now.
Yeah.
I have seen it. They're really tight. I don't get it. And he also has that fucking douchebag haircut where faded sides and, gelled up top.
If you can't move your dick around, it's harder for you to come. Wow, that's something I said.
I was talking about his hair. What the fuck?
We're talking about the tight
I know.
pants.
We're still talking about his
You're
jeans.
also talking about a made-up person.
This is just to reconcile for our argument about Opera Girl.
Yeah, Colt and Wenzel did have a really nice hug while we were underwater.
It did thunder a lot, though, because we were still mad.
Yeah.
I'm
so,
sorry.
Pat, anime.
Yes. Well, I think it's very appropriate because we're all talking about water next. Because the next series is the Aquatope on White Sand, which premiered July 9th. Is currently streaming on Crunchyroll, and this series is about a 18-year-old girl named Kukuru Misakino, who is the part-time director of her family's aquarium. And she's a very idealistic girl, and she takes in a young woman who has run away from Tokyo to seek a more simple life, and she's a former idol. And it's sort of their story together so they go through the misadventures of being high school students while also working at an aquarium. What do we think of this series?
Best looking anime penguin of all time.
This show is without question one of the best looking shows of the season, and it's one of the prettiest I think we've reviewed.
It feels like a slice of life, but kind of not really. Something's weird happening at the end.
Yeah.
But it felt very good. It felt like I was in little kid summer where everything was bright and colorful and not depressing.
It's sort of like that very idyllic summer, you just go out and have a good time, and even though you're working, it's just an aquarium. And this was one of the series I got to see, and of the three I watched, this was hands down my favorite, because not only is the production level super high, the animation is crisp and fluid, but the detail in the background, the setting is just vibrant and lush. It's it's an aquarium on next to a beach, and everything is just like beautiful and gorgeous. The water, the forest, the scenery, it's just like super like beautiful. It's I might sound like super simple, but it's the truth. You have to watch it to see how
yeah,
gorgeous it
because
is.
like if you because it takes place on Okinawa, and immediately as soon as like it opens,
Shout out Wenzel.
as soon as it opens up, I was like, oh my god, this takes place on fucking Okinawa, and I was right, and I was just so it was so happy, but also it made me really sad just because it was just a huge fucking throwback. They like animation wise, like that's probably the closest you're gonna get to like seeing what Okinawa looks like, if not like through photography or pictures. Which also they went to Gamma. The aquarium name is Gamma Gamma Aquarium, and I was like, is that this? I was like, is that the same aquarium we went to? Gamma Gamma doesn't exist. There's no actual aquarium called that. But what I assume it's based off of is it's the Okinawa Aquarium, but it has it's another part of its name. But it's located in Ocean Expo Park, and you can kind of what you see there is kind of what that aquarium was like. It's amazing.
Was there any kind of weird, like, terrible bad things?
Phenomenon?
War
No.
crimes or anything?
No, well,
Because in the show, they talk about how there's, like, something bad happened during the war there.
yeah. What that is also probably referencing is the underground. They did have essentially there was an underground Japanese Imperial Army network. And there was me and my dad actually we went to a museum that part of it goes into that underground section, and there was can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's famous because of how many it was during the battle of Okinawa, and it was famous because of how many fucking people died. And I can't remember what its name it was exactly. I think it might have had it had blood in the name or something. It was really bad. And I assume that's probably what they're also referencing as well. I don't know, but from what I can take is that they're kind of taking inspiration from the actual aquarium that is in Okinawa. Gorgeous. Really, really fucking pretty. It was really good.
And just like it had like a great like vibe to it. It's just like super chill and like super relaxing, like very like also like really heartwarming, because one of the main plot of the story is the young girl Kukuru. She's being a part-time director because her grandfather is getting up in age, and he's sort of like taking on his shift out after school. And what sort of kickstarts the plot is her favorite penguin, Choco-chan, develops an adorable disease called bumblefoot, which is something captive penguins develop when they don't get enough exercise in their enclosure, and they sort of develop these like sores on their feet. So she calls in the aquarium vet, who's like heavily pregnant, and while she's sort of inspecting the penguins, she goes into labor. And so there's this whole like kerfuffle of trying to get the vet sort of acclimated and get her set until the ambulance or taxis can come get her. And like there's a really like,
Pat, I'm gonna ask you, what the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know what the fuck you're talking
You're
about.
not on the first episode. Did you watch 2?
You probably watched 2 episodes.
no, because when I went to Crunchyroll, that was number 1.
You probably watched the second episode, Pat.
That is not the first episode.
That is not the first
Oh
episode.
shit!
The first.
I don't know what the. I was like, I looked at them. I was like, did anybody know what's
No,
going on?
I was looking at you.
I
and
was looking at y'all. I was like, I swear to God, I watched the whole
I
episode.
missed something or something.
I was like, I stayed around for the end credits. Like, what is he talking about?
Like, the penguins didn't pop up until
the penguins didn't pop up till the very
It was
end of the
after
episode,
credits.
and even then, all we literally see is the penguin like dive in the water, stare at the girl, and then swim away.
Like my Crunchyroll was fucked up because when I hit episode 1, that's what came up. Shit.
I mean,
well, spoilers episode 2, I guess.
I was so confused. I was because I didn't want to say anything. I was like, did I watch the wrong episode?
yeah, no, but I knew I didn't watch the wrong one because I didn't even go to Crunchyroll because I wasn't sure about whenever you guys put Crunchyroll question mark. I went to our legal site to go watch anime, and I because the way it starts off, it introduces the idol girl. She just kind of spontaneously goes to Okinawa to escape her family and all that shit that happened on the mainland with her, I guess, leaving Yeah, Pat, what the fuck?
Yeah, I was so.
I'm gonna send Crunchyroll a strongly worded letter.
What probably happened is on the Crunchyroll account that we all split and pay evenly into.
Yes.
Somebody watched episode 1 before you, and you clicked on episode 1, and it automatically ended episode 1 because we watched till the very end, and it auto played episode 2.
Yeah,
that's probably what
That,
happened.
that probably will, yeah.
For what episode 2 was, I guess I didn't feel like I was missing anything.
You missed the tiny little god eating the fish.
Okay, that little fucker.
Well, no, like the little, like, spoiler, the little god is in episode 2. I was like, okay, there's something like magical here probably happening.
Yeah, there's this. I say kid because I don't know if it's a little guy, but there's this little kid that just fucking feral walking around eating raw fish. Nobody's stopping him.
It's
either.
very good.
It's very good. Yeah, there was a the beach in there looks very like exactly like the beaches on Okinawa. The beaches are like so fucking pretty, white sand, just turquoise, clear blue water. It's so fucking pretty. And then the girl, the idol girl, falls asleep and she just has a bunch of fucking bones, coral.
Yeah, I don't know who was her parents, but she did not learn very well. She was walking around Okinawa, almost dying of heat stroke. And then she passes out on a fucking beach and gets her hat stolen.
That is not what happens. She goes to the beach and she falls asleep.
Passing out still.
No, she
sleeps on the beach. She closes her eyes for a long time and doesn't get up for a.
Yeah, she passes out on the beach because she's going to sleep.
Semantics, motherfucker.
Well, but no, I'm trying to explain what happened afterwards. Is that, like you said, she loses her hat and she almost has a heat stroke. That's what I'm trying to put it in the order that you just threw out.
They watched the episode ones, okay?
It turns out nobody even watched the right anime.
No, and also there was a fun little bit in there too where she went to a fortune teller basically, and that was kind of fun because like she was like, "What's a great fortune teller like you doing in here?" Because the fortune teller was just literally looking at her stuff and be like, "Oh yeah, you're from Tokyo." And it's like, "How do you know that's so specific?" She has her luggage that says Tokyo on it.
It's like Tokyo Olympics 2021.
Like, and then she's like, "What's a great fortune teller like you doing in this small little area?" Because she goes down one of the I don't know if it's Kokusai Dori, but like that's one of the streets I remember from Okinawa. We going down one of the most famous ones, Kokusai Dori.
I've been there as well in Yakuza.
Oh yeah. They have like these streets. They're kind of like in these alleys, and they're just like where they have a bunch of just vendors on like each side.
And there's like a glass roof that like doesn't let the rain come down, but light still comes through.
Yeah, and it's really cool, really neat, and it was so funny because the fortune teller was just like. She just took off all her stuff and she was like, like
my husband left me.
Like I've just been having a bad fucking time.
Yeah.
Like it was some good stuff, and I mean, and she was like, I think she had a saying. They have a saying in Okinawa where it was like, when we first meet you, you're like our sibling.
Yeah, you're the first time you meet somebody in Okinawa, you're like a sibling.
Which is like it makes sense because whenever I went to Okinawa, like everybody was like. Very just so kind, so nice. Hospitality was just crazy, and you can definitely from this you can definitely feel that love and that kind of care, especially like with like the characters like their own stories of like again we have another situation of like kind of like dreams and perseverance because the aquarium is possibly gonna is being shut down and yeah, really liked it. Really good. And there's some weird shit happening in the aquarium as well.
Like the main girl walks up to a big tank, and all of a sudden the tank just starts flowing over. It was a daydream scene, but I don't know if it was like a supernatural daydream
we don't know.
or what. But it was really cool. It reminded me of Penguin Highway. It had some cool scenes. And not just Penguin Highway. What was that one movie that we watched? It was like the December 29th or 30th or something.
Weathering with You?
No, it's the other
Beast
one.
and the Boy?
No.
Ride Your Wave?
It was
Ride
just
Your Wave.
me, Wenzel.
Ride Your Wave?
Nope. It was just you, me, and Cody watching it in my living room.
Oh, Letter to Momo?
Letter to Momo.
Yeah.
It reminded me of the water scene with all the fish in it. Over the bridge when it was raining.
Fuck, yeah. Yeah, that was a great scene.
Speaking of fish, the outro.
The outro is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Outro
Very
was,
gorgeous.
Also, you get like you do get some kind of like actual like fish facts, basically, which is pretty cool.
That's what I do like about a lot of like manga and anime. It's like this hyper specificity on like a subject you would never think. Okay, someone will devote the time to talk about X thing, like with the Kageki Shogo's, like it's a musical school, performing arts school. Here's all the little specific things about this, and like here in Aquatope, it was like you're gonna learn about aquariums, and like aquariums are really cool. So I'm very interested to learn like fish facts about everything, and especially in episode 2 spoil, you learn about penguin care, and it's really cute.
Man, I've never been more confused when Pat just started talking about that. I was like, oh my god, I watched the wrong episode.
I was like, I think I only checked my phone like once while watching it. I don't
What
think
the
I was
fuck
on it for so
happened?
long.
A lot. You just like zipped.
I was like, there's a lady giving birth. I was like, there's no
None
way
of that
I missed
happened in this episode. I remember a little boy with a fucking eating raw fish. That's what I remember. I don't know how many other anime are out there. I just love seeing Okinawa get some really nice love.
You play the Yakuza series, they got a lot of Okinawas.
And watching this too, like, honestly though, with the girl passing out on the beach, I'm like, yeah, if it, like, I could see that. It feels so fucking nice, but also it's so fucking hot. Like, but man, it's so gorgeous. I really, really want to go back. Every day that I'm like every year that passes by, I just get sadder. I get so sad.
When Winslow rolls up his sleeve, you just see like tally marks. So he passes, he's been there.
No, I mean, like, every year, it's funny because, like, every year on the day that, like, we left, my dad's like, it's been 6 years since we've been back.
I gotta say, it's been a while because I don't even think we were friends last time you went.
No, we weren't. 2015, no. I just knew Colt and some other douchebags.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say watch this show. Strike while the iron's hot. Watch while it's fucking summer, because it feels good to watch.
Yes, yeah, summer vibes.
Very summer vibe show.
Like, you can watch it in any other time of the year, but it feels the best in the summer.
Summer vibe show.
So this is definitely one of my highest recommendations. It's one of the most gorgeous of the season and one of the best looking that we reviewed. So this comes with a very high recommendation.
And apparently you don't even have to watch the first episode. You just skip right on to the episode.
you jump right in.
You know what? Just jump on, like, if you are going to wait to watch it, jump to, like, the final episode and see if you understand.
Like, watch. That's where she's like, oh, we got a new fish guide, and it's like a fucking sea serpent. Like, how do we take care of this?
And if that happens, oopsie.
You know what? Watch the middling part of it. Go watch The Shape of Water, but then go watch also The Lighthouse. But, like, watch kind of 3/4 of The Shape of Water, and then watch the very end of The Lighthouse.
And then watch The Fanatic, and then watch this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see if you get it.
Yeah, that's the only way you can get the true ending of the show.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and moving right along, we have our next series, which is Ore Tsushima, or I Tsushima. This debuted July 4th. It's currently streaming on YouTube, and this is a short-form anime about a lifelong stray cat who's taken in by an elderly woman, and it follows his unique disposition as he adjusts to his new domestic environment.
It's Japanese Garfield, and I have, like, do you guys have an hour? Because I have so much to say. It's I just really enjoyed it. I don't have a lot to say. It's a very short. It's like,
I mean, every episode's like an hour. I mean, an hour.
Holy shit! We watch different things again.
Yeah, I watched the extended edition on YouTube Red.
It was crazy when King Kong came. Pat just watched King Kong,
and then he reads the Garfield comic. It's just so crazy when he asks for lasagna.
I was saying there was some lasagna. I'm
this
just saying.
guy hates Mondays.
That dog, what the fuck?
It kicks him clear off the desk.
Why do you put food in the oven, but you don't out cold food?
I don't like that.
I think Tanner just had a stroke.
But this show was really good. The episode, we watched the first 3 episodes. They're like 2 minutes a pop at the top. And the second episode is probably my favorite, and it's also the most fucked up of the anime we've seen today, I would say.
It's so sad.
Because the cat's like, I had a master friend, he would feed me, and I would hang out with him every single day. He cared for me every single day until he stopped. And then he just disappeared, and then everything around me just started disappearing. And then there's nothing, and eventually everything goes.
Yeah.
It was so fucking sad.
Yeah, it was sad. I was like, oh, man, I did not expect this 90-second short on YouTube to make me feel things.
Yeah, no, watching that, I was like, holy shit, we just got really fucking deep. And this is
Like we're getting emotionally invested in record time.
Yeah, because like, oh man, no.
And like I was already like emotionally primed because I watched this first thing in the morning. And it was immediately after watching a YouTube video about a 3-legged cat that spent 9 years in the wild until he met an old man. The old man died, and then he disappeared for 2 more years, and then the man's daughter took him in, and I was just like, boy, I'm feeling
Wildcats
it.
are immortal, man. Wildcat,
That's true.
I had a wildcat at my grandma's, and I haven't seen it in a long time. I'm assuming it's still alive. And if you haven't seen an animal for a long time, just assume it's alive.
Yep, they're
It'll
definitely
come
alive,
back to you.
and no one can tell you otherwise.
On the flip side, my cat is an inside cat, 14 weeks old. Would not last 15 seconds.
Oh,
outside.
yeah. My cat would be beheaded by a bug.
Sock, we have some baby birds on our front porch, and I tell Socks constantly, I'm like, if you go out there, they're going to get you.
I would totally imagine if Socks walked outdoors, instantly a hawk would pick him up and fly away.
Oh, yeah. Socks is very light.
Socks is definitely small enough for that.
Hey, he's gaining weight at
I was about to
record
say
speed.
he's definitely getting big.
He's getting chunky.
I met a wildcat and he gave me prescription drugs.
Okay. The car? You went into a wildcat car and you got drugs.
I mean, those stray cats, they're pretty hard these days.
I went to a wildcat and he gave me a bunch of prescription ibuprofens.
Oh, that's fine.
what?
Had a headache.
Were they super strong or something? Is that why they were?
They're expired.
Okay.
Actually, now that I think about it, the prescription bag was like a Burger King bag.
and it had some onion rings in it.
And the
did
pill
tell
bottle
you
just
to
had
throw it away.
thumbtacks in it.
The king recommends.
And I ate it and I had to go to the hospital.
Man,
Yeah, because I think those weren't really ibuprofen; they were just Cialis.
And you know what? I don't think that was a cat.
I have a good story about eating Burger King food and getting sick as a bit.
I do remember that.
Not for this show.
I know. You save that for your other things. We're not bringing up one of the most important things about Ore Tsushima, and that is Luffy is an old lady.
Oh, is that the voice?
As Japanese voice
Yeah.
actor.
Okay. I thought she sounded familiar.
I just think it's so funny that the old lady is represented by like she basically looks like an alien.
She looks like an imp.
She looks like a Misi.
But also like her head's caved in too.
She looks like a cone head, but like half of it's like dented.
It's
She's
funny.
a Misi.
She's that
from
one
Rick
guy
and
from
Morty.
Dressrosa that had his head broken.
Oh yeah, Don, the Don. Yep. There are 3 One Piece readers in this room, and Tanner picked that up.
Wow.
But I also like too how like the old man that took care of the cat looked normal. It's just
Yeah,
her.
he just looked like a normal old man.
I guess probably because like that was like the first human that showed him kindness, so he remembers that person indelibly. So, like,
Or it was something that happened when he was younger. I'm thinking deeper. What if Ore Tsushima is getting older, and that's why it's harder for him to see the features
Ooh,
of the
yeah.
old lady, and that's why he just doesn't remember. He doesn't see her features, but he remembers vividly the old man's features.
If this 90-second short feature YouTube video series ends with this cat dying, I'm flying to Japan and kicking somebody's butt.
or maybe the old lady died, but in the last episode she's fully detailed like the old man was.
Oh yeah.
Or
That's
that-
even worse.
I'm just saying, the heartstrings are going to be pulled.
Everybody in the show dies.
That's the thing with humans; everything disappears.
I mean, like there's only one emotional episode. The rest is like really funny bits.
Yeah.
yeah.
like the
Episodes
first
1 and
episode.
3 were hilarious.
because oh shit, because the 4th episode came out like today.
Yeah, I was gonna watch that later.
I watched it. It's really good.
Because the first one is about the cat being like eating the old lady at a house and home. You know, she's being like absorbently like generous with it, just giving it all kinds of food. And then the second she goes to eat her own food, he's like, "Bitch, what's that? Where's mine?"
And that's what cats do. As somebody that has recently
That's any animal.
got a cat. Yeah, I guess I just never realized
Well-
cats eat like human food, but my cat wants like hot coffee, cardboard.
Well, that's the thing is that cats, they have that agility and that ability to just get up on everything.
Yeah.
So like, of course, like with dogs, dogs are just like, they're like, like they can't figure out to jump on.
Dogs cannot think.
They might jump on shit, but they don't realize that they might be too fucking heavy for shit, and they'll crash stuff around. Cats are the same way, but they're more lighter, and they know that they can do that. Dogs are just dogs, dumb.
Dogs be like, ah! Cats be like, I'm light and I can jump on stuff.
Yeah, cats are like. That's a cat.
Yeah. That is pretty
Also,
much
I love how the cat's voice sounds. Like it has this deep old man voice.
Oh fuck! When the cat bent down, thank you for having me in your home. That was so fucking good. And the cat in there, because the woman also has 4 fucking other cats.
Yeah.
And the cats are like, oh, he's so polite.
I love how we're talking about the show longer than the show's runtime.
What was the third? What happened in the third episode?
The third episode is like I know a big bit. Well, because I think there's 2 bits in the fourth.
This lady gives
the
birth
third
to
episode
the
is
big one.
like she introduces brushing to the cat.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, humans, they like to, have these little things that make cats captive and docile, like brushing. It's like, I ain't gonna fall for it. And then like he literally loves being brushed so much, so he keeps the lady there for like 3 hours.
Yeah, and she's like, it's already been hours. And it's like, I guess I'll just leave. Like, no.
And then like the lady starts doing like this coy thing. It's like, oh, he's like wiggling her butt. It's like, oh, if you leave, I'll be so lonely.
And then the cat's like, I'll be back, and then leaves. It's so fucking good. The fourth episode, let's just say, the vet.
Okay.
It's really good.
Everybody should watch this. Literally, you can watch all 4 of these episodes in under 10 minutes.
Yeah, they're on YouTube.
Yeah, they're on YouTube too.
Yeah.
You know what? We'll link it in the description.
Yeah, Pat will link it in the description.
I mean, if I could link like Ultraman episodes in our last special, then I think we could do YouTube.
Yeah, can we get that link for that TikTok farting? Throwback.
Yeah, throwback.
You can't reference canonical episodes on non-canons. Well, I guess you can. You just can't.
You're not the boss around
can't
here.
reference
You're not the boss.
You haven't been
I'm
in the
talking
game.
about the timeline.
We could do it. It's like the My Hero. It's like anime movies.
Yeah,
Like,
you reference shit in the main series, even though you're not canon.
yeah, like because that happened in the past. This is the future, so we can have.
But you can't reference like this episode in a canonical.
Oh no,
episode.
we're still gonna do that.
No,
'cause
we
fuck
can't.
You.
I mean, I guess we could do that, but we can't. Technically, we can't. The writers are gonna be pissed.
Yeah, I'm about to say they're gonna boys up top not gonna be too happy.
You just see one of the writers just like trying to erase us, and it's like
Just erases like somebody's name.
it's like fuck.
You're not in the show anymore. That's how Cody got kicked out. A lot of people don't know
but,
that.
but he erases it, and the name is like Billy.
Yeah,
I mean that also that's kind of why Cody's in a box in Tampa.
Yep.
Yep.
Tampa, Florida.
Yeah, got a grand piano, took the box.
Yep.
Bayou Billy with the heavy balls.
I don't know what that was, but yeah, or Tsushima, watch it. Good.
Check it out. 10 out of 10. Going on to our next series is Nighthead 2041. This debuted July 15th. It's currently streaming on Crunchyroll, and this is a CG animated series and takes place in the near future where an oppressive government regime has outlawed all non-logical concepts, religion, faith, supernatural beliefs, magical thinking, even fictional media has all been outlawed. And if anyone is caught with doing or thinking any of these concepts, a armed squad of cybernetic soldiers is dispatched to arrest the person. And what follows from there is a strange and confusing series of events that maybe some supernatural things aren't so illogical.
I want to start off by saying, like, I feel like I say this a lot. Like, every time we bring up a 3D CG show, it's just getting better and better with each new series. Because this looked fucking beautiful.
This is like probably the crispest a CG anime has looked.
Yeah,
like
it's looked pretty good.
If nothing else, like the environments is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's on par with, like, those really good-looking anime games. Like, most recently, Scarlet Nexus, Code Vein. It's very, very well done. I wouldn't be surprised if they somehow had used that whatever fucking software for this, because it looked pretty damn good. It mixed the 3D with 2D, and it was done very well. And
Yeah.
I really, really
The
liked
polar opposite of X-Arm we watched earlier in the year.
I will say though, it's a shame I am not interested in the story one bit.
Oh yeah, I am not that interested. I was like, oh, this is beautiful, but the story is very cheesy and
Yes.
not great. The one thing I just can't stop thinking about is the scene in the bar. Mm-hmm. The 2 kids in the bar, they order a fucking supreme pizza and 2 ginger ales, and the guy behind them's like, ginger ales for pussies. and then they're like, yeah, we'll leave. We can't handle this. And then the guy's like, you're gonna pay for that fucking pizza. And they brings out the supreme pizza, and they're like, oh yeah, how much is it? And he's like, you're gonna drink ginger ale with your pizza? And then they're like, fine.
He's
I'll go.
not really exaggerating.
And
that
then
much.
like he's like, fuck you, and he throws the guy against the wall and he dies. And he's like, here's $300 to pay for the damage.
Yeah.
The guy, like,
that's
I haven't watched it, so I'm gonna take your word for
no,
it.
that happens.
like it's like the guy was drunk, but he's like strangely hostile to these like two like obviously psychic kids sitting at this bar.
Do not order ginger ale around him.
Obviously psychic kids.
Ginger ale for pussy.
That's the episode title. Ginger ale's for
Ginger
pussy.
ale's so good. Who the
I love
fuck said-
ginger ale.
I mean, I love ginger ale.
I love ginger ale.
Yeah, this is completely out of order. The episode opens with like the fucking cybernetic SWAT team being like sent out to like assassinate like this like obviously fake psychic, and like all his like groupies are like busting caps and shit. And plus like it's really weird, like, oh yeah, if you get caught with like this is literally thought crimes. It's like Minority Report. If you have like a magical concept thought, you know, like psychics or whatever, you go to a fucking concentration camp.
Yeah, you can't believe in Buddha or Harry Potter.
Or Fortnite.
What the fuck? No, Fortnite! I'm gonna go psycho!
That's pretty much,
what
That's
happened.
what happens in the show.
Mob Psycho 100.
Kind of.
Mob Psycho's in jail. It just reminded me of that TikTok meme. You believe in Jesus, jail. You believe in magic, jail. You believe in crystals, straight to jail. It's like it's just that TikTok meme.
I was about to say, it sounds like Minority Report and Fahrenheit 451 like amped up, but like I don't know.
Not good.
Yeah, I was about to say, you guys
Also not good.
I'll definitely have to check it out though, just to see what's going
I would
on.
say the first episode's worth the watch. Like it's not bad. It's just like the concept's like all magical thinking is outlawed. It's like, how the fuck do you enforce that? And one thing I thought was just fucking insane is like you have the A plot, which is like the SWAT team and they're like weird idol like specifically colored like tactical gear, and then you have like the psychic siblings who just wake up in the middle of the desert and it's like, oh sis bro, we got to get out of here because we're psychic. And then how did they do that? They get into a fucking DeLorean and drive out of the woods.
That was there for them
that
specifically.
there's weird organization had like apparently knocked them out, ditched them in the wood, but also left in this like genetically coded like DeLorean.
If that ever happens in our reality of like Fortnite ban, I'll be like,
I'd kill myself right on the spot.
domain expansion.
I hate this.
God. Like, just imagine if like Days of Future Past, but the Sentinels come to kill people who play like Fall Guys and Among Us.
Oh man, I'm fighting for my fucking life.
It's just like everybody had blown out like gear and like eye patches and scruff, and then like they get like stabbed in the back by like this like blade-armed rodent.
And Wenzel's back patch is just like a huge anime girl, but also like it has like an Among Us character.
And then as I'm being stabbed and picked, I'm like, "You're dog water, bro."
No, you're literally dog water and suck.
You guys just learned what that meant like 40 minutes ago.
Yeah, and we're adapting.
Yeah,
This is called a high-speed evolution cult.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't believe in that. Though.
you know how many times my brain has broke and reformed since we've been friends?
I'm still waiting on mine to reform.
I would say I would wager thousands.
I'm pretty sure my brain is smooth.
Yes, no wrinkles. You
no
don't want the
wrinkles.
wrinkles.
Like Wenzel's brain is just like a chicken cutlet.
Grilled. No, and you know what would be funny too is like as I'm being stabbed by these robots, I'm just like Among Us sus, and they just start beating punching me.
Sussy Among Us Baka.
I'm just a red pulp.
And I would also believe in this world that the revolution leaders are the Vinci brothers.
Hold on, I thought of a good bit too. Okay, it's the last scene of Dunkirk. Wenzel's flying the plane, but there's an Among Us banner on the back of the plane. That would have made that movie so much better. I probably would have went 3 stars on the movie.
Shut your fucking
mouth, dude.
God, bringing back that old bit.
Instead of Dunkirk, it's called like Suskirk.
Oh, come on. That's pretty
Or
good.
like I imagine like the revolution sets a bomb and like the screen has like the Among Us like twerking, like shaking its ass really fast. No, the ass shakes faster as the clock's counting down, then it just explodes.
With each second, the ass shakes like.
Like, and Cole is like a general in the army, but he's wearing his "Why don't you get among some bitches" shirt.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend the show.
Yeah,
It's
no,
not
sure.
great. I mean, check out like a 5 minutes of it to see the art style and how good like CG's gotten. but you probably should dip out and probably watch the bar scene because it is kind of funny.
The bar scene is funny.
It just
we
like-
didn't even mention the funniest part where one of the psychic kids like touches the guy's like, now you're gonna see the bartender have sex with your girlfriend, and he, and he's like, and then they throw him into the wall and he dies.
That's exactly.
It's such a good bit because the brother has telekinesis and the sister has like empathy, like telepathy. It's like she touches the barred fly, and so she like sends him like their thoughts. So you see like the escort's like, haha, dumb bitch, I'm gonna get all his money, and then like the bartender's like, haha, he doesn't know I'm fucking his girl and getting his money too. And then he starts like kissing her leg, and then he's like, whoa,
What the fuck?
And then the kid's like, I just unlocked your deepest, darkest desires, and I showed them to you.
Yeah,
and he fucking kills him.
and then the older kid is like, can't you tell what just happened? They unlocked your heart. And
ginger ales for pussies.
never talk bad about Sprite again. Not Sprite. Canada Dry.
No, it's we can say Sprite, right?
Sprite's kind of ginger
It's
ale.
kind. It's not there.
No,
but
I mean legally we can say Sprite.
Yeah.
No, they're different, Pat.
Do you
Don't
have
worry.
anything else to say about this, Pat?
Sushi
No,
box.
No, like I had fun. Like I'm not
Three
gonna
Royale,
continue it, but like
yeah.
of all like the skippable series we talked about, it's still like entertaining.
Yeah.
Plus, I think they spent like a stupid amount of money in the scene where that Jack Daniel bottle explodes.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
pretty cool.
that's a $10 million scene.
Just
He
cleared
spent
out Tomato
a lot of money
Town.
on that.
Just wiped out Tomato Town.
Just wiped out Tomato Town. Sorry.
All right,
miss.
moving on to our last.
It's so
series.
weird because the name of the episode is Shoddy Trifling. Okay, I'm done.
All right, then the last series is Life Lessons with Uramichi Oni-san, or Life Lessons with Big Bro Uramichi. This premiered July 6th. It's currently streaming on Funimation, and it's about Uramichi Murata, the 31-year-old host of a children's show whose cheery on-air persona clashes with his habit of accidentally revealing the difficulties of adult life to his children audience.
Now this was fucking funny. It was like purposefully funny, not
Yeah.
like in a bad way. I laughed. There's a lot of moments where I was laughing pretty hard.
I know
But
what joke you're about
there's
to bring
one
up.
joke that I was like losing my absolute shit to. It's so stupid.
It's so
It's so
stupid.
simple. I'm gonna go ahead and ruin it for you, Wenzel.
Okay.
Because Wenzel didn't watch the full episode.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And okay, there's this guy named Richard like Feynman, and he's like kind of
It's
like Dick,
Richard Fryman. It's a physicist.
and he's like kind of like Dick. It's kind of like dong, ding dong.
Yeah, the guy's like, do you
Penis.
think he called people called him Dick? And like the guy that's saying it is like losing it. And then like our main character comes up to him and he's like, do you think they call him Pocket Rocket? And the guy's like losing it. I'm like, this is the joke Colt's talking about. I know it is.
And he just kept saying different words for penis.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like ding-a-ling. And, like the guy literally had to sit out of the taping of the show because he started crying so hard.
No, because when I told Colt that, he was like, "There's a bit in there I know you would love."
Yeah.
and I love it.
It's that. You
Yeah.
need
You
to
should
watch
watch
it
it.
just for that.
No,
joke.
I watched the very beginning. It was so funny because like the beginning of it, because like he's that child, you know, the children in his show are coming around him, and he starts talking, and he sounds hoarse. And one of the children's like, "Why does your voice sound so hoarse?" And he's like, "That's because it's all from my hard drinking."
Because of my heavy drinking, and then it cuts to the intro. To
Yeah,
the opening. It's pretty good.
it's so I need to watch it. It
Yeah.
sounds fun.
Also, not to skip ahead a ton, but the outro of the show may be the best outro of the year.
It's a very good
It's
outro.
so freaking good. I don't know why it goes that hard. Like the intro's good, the outro goes freaking hard. It's
Okay.
so good.
Hell yeah.
Did you get to watch this one, Pat?
I didn't get to see it, but just reading the premise, I'm like, okay, this is gonna be funny as hell.
It's very. I really want to continue watching it because it shows he's a host of a kids show, and he's like very kind to these kids. Like I expected him to be kind of a dick to the kids, but he's just like being an adult with kind of just being straightforward with the kids.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, why are you so sad? And he's like, I have nothing to be happy about.
Yeah. It's so funny. Like one of the girls like starts hitting him with a wand, and he's like, why are you hitting me with that wand? It's like, oh, I'm casting a spell on you. He's like, oh, I want to cast a spell on you. May none of you be depressed in 20 years.
That's fun.
No, it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
It's like, you know all the rumors that like swirled around about Steve from Blue's Clues? It's like if all those were true and he did them during tapings of the show.
Yeah, I was really about to make the bit about like the new Blue's Clues with like the new host is like how people are talking about like, oh, he's such a sweet guy, and then they found like all his like hot model pictures. It's like, oh fuck, he's hot and he's ripped.
Yeah, it's that because our host was a top collegiate gymnast at a elite gymnast college. So now he's doing this. So he's also like hot and ripped. It's very funny.
That's fun.
Also, another scene where the little girl's like, "My mom and dad are 29, and they had me. You're 31. Why don't you have a wife and kids?" And he's like, "Oh my god."
He's like, "Yeah, why don't I?"
Why don't?
Yeah.
This
It's a lot of fun.
yeah. Okay.
I definitely interested in watching these. Like I said, I'm going to go back and watch all the. I feel like every one of these series is fun in some regard. With some, we definitely highly recommend. Which leads to my next point. Going around the room, what were your top 3 of the ones we watched so far? Wenzel?
Number
Or
one.
the top that you have seen?
Yeah. Number 1 has to be Sonny Boy. Number 2. Sheesh. It would probably be Opera Girl. And then
Aquatope.
Opera
Girl.
Girl.
Sorry, I thought you
Opera
said
Girl.
Aqua Girl. Sorry.
and number 3 would have to be Aquatope of the White Sand. All right. Damn.
My number 1 would be Sonny Boy. I think that show definitely has like I said earlier, the winter and spring seasons were insanely stacked. I mean, there was anime that y'all didn't even cover on those shows that are like top contenders for anime of the year.
Yeah.
And Sonny Boy is something I can see like contending with those. I would say my second would probably be Kageki Shujo, Opera Girl. It's fun, lighthearted. Number 3, kind of a dark horse. I'm going Ore Tsushima. It's very funny.
It's fun. It's very fun.
It's free to watch. Like, you can just watch it on YouTube. It's 2 minutes a pop. I mean, like, there's worse ways you can spend 2 minutes.
Like I'm kind of getting this the skeleton bookseller vibes from it.
I'm getting Boss Baby vibes.
I thought he was going to say Boss Baby. The guy that's all he's seen Boss Baby watching
Honda-san.
his second movie. This give me Boss Baby vibes. Yeah, but I get Honda-san vibes from it.
Yeah.
My number 1, Sonny Boy. Second, Uramichi, and third, Aquatope.
Hell yeah.
Good stuff there. Good stuff.
It's a good season. It's like there's a lot of fun stuff. That's the thing. Like this year so far, there's probably been like 10 series a season at least that have been like good. Like there's shows we didn't talk about today that have been getting a lot of hype. The new Love Life show is getting a lot of
Liz
hype.
said that's one of her favorites so far.
Yeah, that's getting a ton of hype. I mean, there's just but like we can't have one of these and talk about 12 or 15 shows. That would take way too much time.
And we don't talk about the sequel series of like continuing series. There's a lot of us haven't seen them, or we just don't want to do that.
Yeah, or shows like like Tokyo Revengers from last season is still ongoing. It is top tier. Like, oh my goodness, it's so good.
Because we focus on like debuting series on this seasonal, and of course, like this is only just a small selection of like a bigger pie that we sort of glanced through. And plus, we were all really surprised with this season because like on paper, it's kind of like, I don't know, this seems a little middling, and like very very surprised.
Yeah.
by this.
The thing is, it's like when I've been seeing Sonny Boy kind of like float around for a little bit, and I got completely mixed up with some different anime. And I was just, like you said, I was just surprised. I was just blown out of the water with all of this. It's funny because like I've written down all the anime and manga I need to check out or need to catch up on, and it's like Sonny Boy. Hell, I'd say the 3 I mentioned. It's like you have your main like shonen like action anime line, and then you have like kind of like the outside of that, like the weirder stuff. Like all 3 of these, I would put these in my this little like direct like this little area zone outside of that.
Also, if you
to keep up with,
if you made it this far and you're still listening to us talk about anime, please, for the love of everything, everybody listening, watch Odd Taxi. It is so freaking good, and like me explaining it cannot do it justice. It's one of the most well thought out series I have watched, ever.
If you want first impressions, go listen to our last anime.
Because we covered that in the spring anime series, and I would say of the spring season, that was the one that I haven't watched that I've been really wanting to get back to.
Odd Taxi, fantastic. Spring season had a ton of Tokyo Revengers, Vivi, Odd Taxi. I mean,
Godzilla Singular Point was really good.
Godzilla Singular Point, To Your Eternity, like just so much good crap.
Yeah, no, literally every time they'll bring up like the shows that are like just fantastic, and I have like I add them to the list of stuff I need to get to, and
Your main thing's Demon Slayer.
yeah, it is.
Demon
Yeah,
Slayer.
Wenzel's behind.
talking about like the fall season has potential to be nuts.
You gotta like. We got like if it's you know what, if it's just you and me, we gotta sit down and watch all of Demon Slayer before that season 2 comes around. Because I'm telling you, you'll love it. You'll love the way you look.
and then you can watch the
doubt
movie
it.
because the movie's on Funimation now.
I don't doubt it.
It's good.
We'll also have to get Jonathan caught up. They haven't seen Demon Slayer either.
I don't doubt
Demon
it.
Slayer night. If we binge Jujutsu Kaisen and Invincible, we need a Demon Slayer
I'm
night.
so fucking down because Demon Slayer it's genuinely one of the best shows.
And plus, I'm excited for the game.
Yeah,
good.
I'm excited for the game. I already got it pre-ordered.
I don't know if I'm ready for a Demon Slayer embargo.
I mean, y'all throw out embargoes willy-nilly. I don't want to hear it. I haven't been able to watch I Think You Should Leave. And
Hey, that's next week or this week.
Or
We've already watched it.
by the time
this comes out.
by the time this comes out, we've already seen it. And then like,
It's gonna be good.
Jizz like cum shot.
I'm wearing my calico cut pants right now.
Hold that door.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, because it's
all right, it's time to get the fuck out of here. All right, thank you all so much for listening today. Please excuse any sort of storm sounds. You know, we're trying
No,
something new.
don't excuse
We
it.
had a thunder system set up outside because we like the sound of thunder. And we think, you know what? It makes me calm.
Wait, hold on. I want to know what Pat was going to say after we're trying something new when explaining the storms.
I was kind of riffing on that, saying like we have a new system outside.
Well, I was going to say we're trying something new where we only record during severe weather.
Oh, yeah.
I was so confused. I was like, what? It's possibly.
But no, thank you so much for listening today. We had a lot of fun, and we hope we did too. And I hope you have something to mull over when you're looking for new anime to watch this summer, because I think we have a really good selection to choose from. So once again, you can follow us wherever podcasts are found on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, Google Podcasts, Overcast, Spotify, and any RSS feed catcher out there. Be sure to like, rate, view, subscribe, and all those platforms. Helps us out, keeps us visible, puts us in front of you listeners, and we always appreciate you when you do it. You can follow us on our socials on Twitter and Instagram at AYC's Podcast, Letterboxd and Facebook at All You Can Hear, Twitch at twitch.tv/All You Can Hear, and YouTube as well, which is also at All You Can Hear. Be sure to check out the Cajun Greatness side of things. If you're listening to this the week it comes out, we had just released an episode, Travolta in Development, where we talk about Nicolas Cage's cinematic rival, John Travolta, and the 90s film Michael, and it's something else. And lastly, you can follow me, Patrick, on Twitter and Instagram and Letterboxd at John Lost His Name My Art, on Facebook at John Lost His Name Art.
Thanks for listening. I'm Winsley. Follow me on Twitter at Winsley Wilking. Follow my art Instagram at World of Winsy. Go to my link tree. I have my Goodreads and my Letterboxd in there. So, if you want to see some book reviews or movie reviews, go to those as well. Follow me there. Yeah, go watch some anime.
I think it's very funny when Pat was starting his outro, there was an ambulance that started, dogs were barking, and it was thundering outsid. Just thought it was really funny.
There's a lot of ambient noise that,
So much
that
noise.
I don't know I can edit out of this show.
We're recording in a back alley, okay?
We are up to our ankles in water. There is electricity shooting through these chewed up wires. It's a struggle.
Okay.
Also, I'm seeing the corner where giant bugs come out of. So, like,
All right. A, we could probably get powers, and B, it feels like they're in the conversation.
it's like you're listening in the room with us.
Literally, we have recorded shows outside with not as much outside noise. But
Which is it's still baffling to me.
anyways, you can follow me on Twitter at Tanner1495. If you're listening at this at all, especially the day it releases or maybe the weekend it releases, I have a new show out called The Late Takes. It's AYCH under the little brand tree, I guess. The Late Takes, you can find The Late Takes on Anchor.fm. Also on, hope to God that it works. It's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, all your regular podcast feeds. At The Late Takes, episode 0's out. It's just me, like, hoping to God to get the feed work. Episode 1 officially drops on Tuesday, August 3rd. You may be hearing some familiar voices in the first couple of episodes, so be on the lookout for that. So, and you can follow that on Twitter at The Late Takes.
Each late take will be recorded late at night, though.
Yeah.
and it
after 3
also
p.m.
released at 10 p.m.
Yep.
Nope.
And you have
Terrible
to,
time.
You also have to listen to it at 12 a.m.
And it's only up for 2 hours at a time.
Yeah, I have episode 0 going live at 7 a.m.
But it'll, yeah, okay.
Hey, it'll be night somewhere.
My name Colt. Follow me on Twitter, ColtD00. I'd better not catch you ordering any ginger ale or drinking any ginger ale around me, or I will start just wailing on you. I'll just start beating the shit out of you.
Because how dare you get ginger ale and not offer Colt some? Stingy.
Pretty
Yeah,
fucked up.
be careful, my gamers out there who play Among Us, Fortnite, Fall Guys. The Sentinels are coming.
You just
Yeah,
said
get a bit quick.
something. You said something.
All right, good night, everybody. We'll talking to you real soon. Goodbye.
Bye.